What's up, fellow pilots? Well, it's back to the basics here. I meant to do at least one of these a week, but I've kind of been really busy. Lots of builds going on. I've got about 12 planes I'm working on right now for myself and possibly for others. So wanted to get back to the basics and just basically this is what you call newbie information. Guys getting started out in the hobby, try to prevent you from losing a plane, losing signal. Losing control, hurting your plane, yourself, somebody else. Seen it happen a lot of times, all of the above. So just going to go over a little bit of a tip here to help you guys with the radios, just because I was talking with a buddy online, really good pilot, learning how to fly, and I noticed one thing in his videos, a straight antenna on the 2.4. So I'm going to go over this real quick. Okay, unlike our old school antennas, guys, back when a lot of us are still actually flying these, so I'm not going to call them too old school. I flew these style radios. Now this is a Tower Hobbies, basically the same as the Futaba, 72 megahertz 4 FM system, 3000. Pretty old, but not real old. My actual Futaba is older; it's in the other room. But this is still a perfectly good working radio. I actually trust 72 more than I trust those things. But with the mixings and the jets and everything that I fly, I really need the mixing capability. So went to 2.4. Now with the good old school radios, okay, you did have, I would say you didn't, but you did have a blind spot, and it was also the same problem, the tip of the antenna. However, the little button hooks that they put on here is kind of what caused that blind spot. Okay, it would kind of, just like anything else, start out in a tunnel and go out. But it was much, much harder to lose signal on a 72 than it was on the new technology, in my opinion. I never, I believe, lost a plane on 72 megahertz due to a radio brownout. Now, yes, I did have blackouts on these things, but with 72, there's no rebooting, there's no system link. As soon as it's gone, done, it's over with, you're back in control of the plane. Never lost one due to that. Now on 2.4, you can have, depending on what technology you're running, what brand, everything like that, you can have a brownout that you don't even notice. Hundredths of a second, millionths of a second. You can have a brownout that causes a full reboot, which on the newer technology is supposed to be the maximum of like 3 seconds. But on the DX6i, notice this is not the X technology. I'm still running the old school. Now I have X receivers, but that's no good if you're not running an X transmitter. And they're not getting $75 from me to send this in for 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm going to a different brand than Spektrum anyways, as for my next radio. So anyways, besides that, guys, let's get to the subject here. Antenna placement. Now, like I said, I saw one of my buddies flying, and kind of worried me a little bit, and I figured, hey, I haven't covered this in a video, so let's do it. Okay? Now, the antenna on a 72, how you should always fly. Now, this is coming from a tech who knows this stuff inside and out. A guy who builds his own antennas, actually is going to build one for me. He comes out and has looping wires, about 4 or 5 of them coming around, and probably doubles your range at least, if not triples. So he's built me an antenna, but you always want to fly, guys, in an L, or at the most, say a 45 degree angle, 90 or 45. Now it doesn't really matter which way it's pointing. I always prefer to have mine to the side or up a little bit. Never have it really at a 90 pointing at your head. Remember, guys, these do give off microwaves. I'm not saying it's going to kill you, but I mean, if you can avoid it, avoid it. So yeah, I always fly mine off to the side. Usually if I'm flying at my standard field, where my high-speed passes and dives come from, let's see, that would be south to north. Okay, so from my right to left, I would always fly out there with my antenna pointing to the opposite direction. Okay, that way when I follow through, it's already past the point of the tip of my antenna. Because how these work, guys, is if you fly them like this, and you're pointing them straight at your airplane, remember, a lot of people fly, and they have a bad tendency of flying with their airplane. Moving and rotating and turning, instead of holding a position and watching the plane with your head and slightly moving your radio. So, how these work, guys, I figured the best way to show you is just to draw it out. So here's how it works. Alright, got a piece of cardboard here. Just going to draw out this. Okay, now 2.4 are signaled, the shape of the Spektrum comes out in kind of an apple form, guys. Okay, it kind of comes out like this. It's hooped around, goes down. Okay, comes up like this. It's hooped around. Okay, it goes like that. Now, the sides of the antenna here, they broadcast great signal. Usually, great signal. Okay, all along the sides. Okay, but the tip, where the signal starts and comes out, and starts at that pear shape, some call it apple shape, whatever you want to call it, pick a fruit, I don't care, just not a banana, comes out like that. So if you've got your plane, okay, yeah, this is a nice plane right here, guys, look out, mad artist skills. If you're flying a retarded jet like that, and you have your antenna pointed straight at it, now this is a big signal line here, guys, it's not small. Okay, it is big, but it spreads out, and the larger it gets, the larger your blind spot gets here, guys, okay? And if you follow your plane with your radio and you keep this dead spot, which is all right here, if you keep that dead spot pointed at your plane, eventually you're going to have a brownout. And like I said, depending on your technology, whether or not it recovers, a lot of factors involved. But that's kind of the way the Spektrum technology works, okay? Your antenna broadcasts from the sides. The tip of the antenna is completely a dead zone. There's videos on YouTube with guys with all sorts of testing equipment, and they show you exactly what I'm talking about, exactly where that signal is coming from. But a little quick tip, because I learned this the hard way, I'm not going to lie and act like I know my stuff. When I switched, I flew 72 for, 18, 19 years before I switched to these 2.4s. And I flew like this. Why not? I flew full antenna on my 72s all that time. Well, after losing 2 or 3 planes within a matter of a few weeks, I figured out why not. That was my problem, guys. That right there. That could have saved me a lot of money. So I just wanted to throw that along. Quick little tip 101. Back to the basics for you new guys out there. And I know you guys, most everybody subscribe to my channel. You guys, I know you guys know all this stuff. This is just basic stuff, hopefully to help one newbie guy out there not lose his first plane. So I'll try and keep these coming, basic new steps for you guys, just the basic stuff that tends to get left out. You will find this in the manual. It's about 1.5 sentences long at the very, very back of your DX6 manual, but it doesn't explain it. It just tells you not to point the tip of your antenna at the receiver of your plane. So hope that helps out. And any questions or comment on this spread Spektrum technology, I've done a lot of reading on it. When I lost those planes and was switching and found out this was the problem, I did my studying on it. So any questions, guys, shoot them at me. I have usually anywhere from 30 to 40, sometimes over the weekend, 100 plus emails or comments in my box. So I do try and I do get back to everybody. So it may take me a day. Usually I get them the same day, but it may take me a day. But I hope that helps somebody out there that maybe didn't know that. So just to show you again, guys, my flying style, and I do fly, warbirds, props, jets. I fly all of it. Jets, that are 150 plus mile an hour. Okay, man, this is my flying style right here. Every time I go to the field, this is exactly how I carry my antenna, guys. Okay, shows you just like that. A little bit of an angled forward, not quite 90, but not quite 45, right in the middle there, guys. So I hope this helps out, and leave any questions or comments if you got them, or drop me an email. Thanks, guys.